Yeah, so basically, you all know that when we started this show, we told you that we will be bringing you all the tips in business that will help you, achieve profitability, productivity in your business, grow your income, and do better. A couple of years ago, I came back to this country, and I found, how business is done here, and I see that a lot, isn't done correctly, and that drove my passion to set out to begin to teach business principles. So I've held many trainings, many seminars. A lot of these were free, and over time, Chimaka, you probably don't know this, but over a couple of years, I've trained close to 1,500 people, directly or indirectly, for
free.
And I'm
yet to benefit from this.
For free, with different business principles, really. So I have that passion, to get businesses to do things better, right? Now, we are living in difficult times where many Nigerians hardly can eat 3 square meals a day. The average worker is complaining because of the high cost of things, high cost of petroleum, high cost of food in the market. We all know that the cost of petrol or fuel drives every other cost up, and so today Nigerians are really, really going through a hard time.
Yes, we are.
And even before this time, many graduates have been looking for jobs. There are graduates who graduated 15 years ago, 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and haven't gotten a single job and are still living with their mothers, asking for transport money, and transport money, Yeah, and that's basically because the economy hasn't been doing that great, but it's never been this bad. 27% inflation rate. This is groundbreaking history. We've never had it this bad in Nigeria, and so the last regime and this current regime seems to be grappling with how to get Nigerians to actually get ahead, and do better economically. So that's why today we're going to be talking about the Yam Revolution, how you can become a Yam millionaire. It's one of the tips that I'm going to be giving you this year, and in 6 months' time, if you do the things that I tell you to do, you'll be smiling to the bank, but do remember to thank me then, Yeah, so basically, a few days ago, we talked about a cash crop revolution, how cash crops, farming can employ anybody, employ communities, employ Nigerians, and make anybody wealthy, right? But today we want to narrow it down to yam. So I want to do the yam math, So I had told you that many yam farmers are complaining because they can't go to the fields anymore. There are different communities in Enugu that farm yam, right? But have been complaining that they can't get to the farms because of the threat of the headsmen. We've heard stories of women who were raped at the different farms, people who were killed, butchered or shot and killed, at the farm. And so because of this, farmers are not going to farm anymore. But we're saying that there is a new way for you to do farm in the city, or even behind your house, at your backyard, right? You can farm healthy, large yams, in sacks, right? And so that makes it possible for you to create wealth around your neighborhood, and you wouldn't need to go to a farm somewhere out in the woods, like they say, Ago or Nimozala or anything like that, So that way you won't be putting yourself at risk. And I said in that show that you can farm between 2,000 to 4,000 tubers of yam in one plot of land, depending the spacing that you choose, right? Okay. So today I want to do the yam math, and I'm going to be using a case study of 2,000 tubers of yam in a plot of land. So basically, yam takes about 6 to 7 months to mature. So that's why I'm saying in 6 months' time, you can actually become a multi-millionaire if you start now, right? So basically, this would require an investment of 6.7 million. Don't scream yet. Don't scream yet. Don't scream yet. Because when I talked about it the other day, I talked about one plot farming. Yes, you can do one plot, right? But the thing is, for you to do that, you need to learn how to do it, right? Now, I talked to a yam in sack consultant who can actually help people set up, but they don't do one plot, 2 plots. They implement what we call economies of scale. I'll explain to you what economies of scale is and why it's important in this business, right? So if you're looking to do a 1 plot, 2 plot, then you need to attend the training that I will announce. In that training, you'll be taught how to do this, so that way you can go do your 1 plot, 2 plots. But if you want to use Yam and Sack Consulting, then there has to be an implementation of economies of scale. That is to say, large investments. And so for this kind of investment, it's not for everybody. It's for those who can afford to invest 6.7 million, or a community of people who can come together and put this money.
6.7 million, is it the
Yes.
minimum?
That's basic minimum, yes.
Wow.
You can do much more than that.
Wow.
Again, the more you invest, the better for you. That's what this
Okay.
economies of scale is about, really. Because the more you invest, the cheaper the raw materials, right? And then the higher the profitability, right? So basically, if you invest 6.7 million, and this will be giving you about 12,000 sacks of yam, and this means 12,000 tubers of yam, right? Now, after harvest, you can sell at 1,500 naira a large tuber of yam. That's what it's selling in the market. So I'll use that to work this math for you, right? So this 6.7 million will be farming, giving you about 5 to 6 plots of land, right? And you'll be doing like 2,000 tubers per plot, right? So essentially, what you'll be getting is 12,000 tubers of yam, right? Now, after 6 to 7 months, you harvest this yams at this plot of, this 5 to 6 plots of land, you will have 12,000 tubers of yam. So if you multiply 12,000 tubers of yam by 1,500, that will be giving you about 18 million naira, right? So an investment of 6.7 giving you 18 million naira. I want to tell you what your profit is. 18 million minus, Chimaka, are you doing it? 18 million minus 6.7. 6,700,000.
11 point something.
Yeah. 11 million,
12.
11,300,000. That's what it is. In 6 months. Don't tell me there are no jobs in Nigeria.
Okay, so you made double of
Your
your
investment.
investments plus.
Yes.
Okay.
So don't tell me there are no jobs in Nigeria. It's just, the problem is that people are either lazy or high maintenance or feel too important to go into farming. Farming is the largest employer of labor anywhere in the world. Now, if you look at some of the richest families in America, they are farming families. If you look at some of the richest people in Nigeria, they are farming families. Look at some of the generals, retired generals from the military. Look at Obasanjo. He owns one of the largest farms in Nigeria. Look at Buhari. He has a livestock farm. Just name them. They are all farming. So don't tell me there are no jobs. This is something you can do. Now, some of you will be saying, why do I have 6.7 million? You don't have to have 6.7 million of your own. See what you need to do. Bring 13 people together or 15 people together, right? Chemaka, let me do this quickly. If you bring, this is 6.7 million, yes, 6,700,000, divided by 15, it gives you 446,000, basically. So if you bring 15 people in your circle, register a cooperative, right? And every one of you bring 500,000. Don't go looking for people who don't have 500,000. There are people in your class, in your community, in your church who can afford to invest 500,000. Bring 15 of them together. Every one of you contributes 500,000. You'll do this investment. In 6-7 months, you'll have 18 million. You repeat the same thing. You repeat the same thing 2 times a year or once a year. You repeat the same thing. For crying out loud, all of you in 3-4 years will be, stinking multi-millionaires. Okay? Now, I want to do this. If you think you don't have people who can do this, but you can afford to bring in 500,000, when we announce that number, call that number. Okay, and we'll arrange it for you. Okay, we'll bring 15 people together. All of you will contribute 500,000 each, and our consultants will come and set up the farm. Yeah, take it up from there. And 6-7 months from now, y'all will have millions in your account. And so simply wash and repeat. You do that, you take your profit, you reinvest. And so what you can actually do is scale the investment. So if you guys did 500,000 the first time, and you actually took a few millions out as your share in the business, you can actually double it and invest 1 million the next time. So that gives you, instead of 6 plots of land, it gives you 12 plots of land, and that also doubles your profit. So what I'm trying to say in essence is that through yam farming, you can become a millionaire. Now, I said I was going to tell you what economies of scale means. So economies of scale simply means, the average cost per unit. Economies of scale means that as production increases, the average cost per unit decreases. Imagine the illustration I have here is imagine with a pizza shop. Imagine you set up a pizza shop. Buying ingredients in bulk makes each pizza cheaper. So what it means is that for you to set up this farm, you need to buy sand, you need to buy manure, you need to buy the yam seedlings, right? And usually when you buy smaller quantities, it costs more. But the more you buy, the suppliers reduce the price for you and gives you allowance to make more profit, right? So what I'm saying to you listening to me right now is that yam farming can change the dynamics of business for you in 2024. And I encourage you to look right into that, right?
Okay. I have one question that I want to ask.
Okay.
Are there setbacks, when you embark on yam farming? Setbacks, I mean, is there any disadvantage? Just the way it is with poultry, you could be sickness or something. Something might just go wrong. Like something might happen and you won't record so much profit.
It's a good question.
There'll be losses. Do you get? So with yam farming, are there things like that? Is there something that can happen and then you wouldn't get the needed or expected profits? Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm thinking of what could happen in yam with yam in sacks. Right? If you were talking about yam in the field, going to the normal farming, the field to farm, yes, herdsmen can come and or this herdsman can come and eat up your yam with their cattle, right? That could be the problem, right? But when it's farming in sacks in the city, in plots of land, fenced plots of land, I don't see any problem, right? Now, if you want to go about it your own way and you've never done it before, that's where you might have a problem. But remember, we said we have a yam and sack consultant. He has done it for many people, and this company doesn't do 1 or 2 plots. They do at least 6 plots per client, right? So this is something they've done for people in Western Nigeria, all over Nigeria. So these people know the business. If you had them do it, there's nothing can go wrong. You're just gonna make profit, and that's all there is to make profit, right? So while there's nothing perfect, there's no perfect scenario in the world, you should always expect that something could go wrong, but you can eliminate that risk of things going wrong when you hire the right hands. And so that's why we're saying this yam consultant can actually help you set it up, and do the whole process, and all you can get is profitability and nothing less.
Okay, so what if you don't have up to a plot of land? Can you make use of your small garden in your compound?
Yes. People are doing this in their compounds. Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
I've seen people. If you go to Facebook right now, type yam in sacks, you'll see videos of people doing this in their backyard, feeding their families with this system. So it's something you can do subsistently, just to feed your family, something you can eat. Some people are doing it, in half plot of land, actually selling it.
Okay.
Can you imagine somebody who has a half plot of land behind their house and does, if you would do 2,000 in a plot of land, that means you can do 1,000 in half plot of land.
Yes.
They can't eat all 1,000 tubers of yam, so they'll have to sell the excesses.
Some, yes.
So it's a great way, to make money in 2024. I'm saying 2024 because it's already December.
We're done with this year.
The year is over.
So what's the farming process like? The farming process, is it just you go and cultivate it and then you go, or you need to be coming back?
There's nothing to cultivate. See, you're doing it in sacks. You're not digging anything. You don't need a hoe.
Okay.
Right? So all you simply need to do is buy the right kind of soil, buy manure, mix it up, fill the sacks, put the seedling in the sack, and water it, and keep watering. But the beautiful thing is that imagine you have a plot of land that is fenced and has a gate. You come there in the morning, and the beautiful thing again is that you don't need to weed. You don't need weed killers, chemicals that kill weed. Yeah. Because these are in sacks, right? So you don't really need to do a lot of work. All you need to do is come and water. Yes, in that sack there could grow 1 or 2, grass. You pick it out with your hands and water your thing and lock the gate and walk away. People don't know. This guy comes here every morning. He opens the gate and enters. What does he do there? Nobody knows. And nobody will know until 6 months later.
And because it's yam, it doesn't affect, pollute the air.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
Could actually grow it anyway.
The neighbors in the neighborhood where you do this won't even know what you're doing. They just see this guy coming to open the gate. Nothing. You just come open the gate every morning, enter your farm, do whatever you have to do, then walk out clean. and lock the gate again and walk away. Now they'll be shocked. They'll have the biggest shock of their life 6 months later when trucks start coming
coming in,
to carry
coming out with tubers
loads
of
of tubers of yam. They'll be like, what happened? What magic is this? You know. So that's on a lighter note, really. But really, this is the way to go in 2024. Give it a shot. Call that number that we're going to give you before the show is over, and let's put you through on how you can do this.